Let me start with something that might surprise you. The average millionaire in America does not drive a luxury car, not a Lamborghini, not a Bentley, not even a brand new Mercedes. Most drive used cars, and many live in middle-class neighborhoods. Now, think about that. If wealth is so powerful, why doesn't it look powerful? Because real wealth is quiet. And today, we're going to talk about why the richest people often pretend to be poor and why adopting this strategy could be the smartest financial decision you ever make. The illusion of wealth. We live in a time where looking rich is easier than ever. You can finance a car with almost nothing down. You can lease luxury. You can buy designer brands on credit. You can flex online for validation. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Looking rich and being rich are two completely different games. One is about image, the other is about ownership, and image is expensive. In the United States, nearly 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That includes people earning six figures. Let that sink in. High income does not automatically mean financial security, because income is what you earn, wealth is what you keep. That difference changes everything. Income versus wealth, the first big shift. Imagine two people. Person A makes $200,000 per year, but spends $195,000. Person B makes $80,000 per year, but invests $20,000 annually. Who is wealthier after 10 years? Most people instinctively say person A, but that's wrong. Person B is building assets. Person A is building expenses. Income is temporary. Wealth is durable. Income stops when you stop working. Wealth continues working even when you don't. That's why the rich focus less on earning and more on keeping. They understand something most people miss. Your savings rate matters more than your salary. The dangerous trap, lifestyle inflation. There's a silent enemy that destroys wealth. It's called lifestyle inflation. Here's how it works. You get a raise, you upgrade your apartment, you upgrade your car, you upgrade your vacations. Now your expenses rise to match your income. You feel successful, but financially, you're standing still. Lifestyle inflation feels good short-term, but it locks you into higher fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are the monthly bills you must pay no matter what. Mortgage or rent, car payments, insurance, subscriptions, debt payments. The higher your fixed expenses, the less flexibility you have, and flexibility is financial power. The rich keep their fixed expenses surprisingly low relative to their income. That gap between what they earn and what they spend becomes investment fuel. Delayed gratification, the millionaire superpower. Most people want rewards now. The wealthy want freedom later. This is where compound interest comes in. Compound interest is when your money earns returns and those returns start earning returns. It's exponential growth. Think of it like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small, but as it rolls, it gathers more snow. Eventually, it becomes massive. If you invest $500 a month at an average 8% annual return starting at age 25, you could end up with over $1.5 million by retirement. Start at 35, you might cut that nearly in half. Time is more powerful than intensity. The wealthy understand this early. They delay gratification during the accumulation phase. They invest first. They upgrade later, sometimes much later. The psychology of looking rich. Why do people overspend in the first place? Because money is emotional. We use it to signal success, status, belonging, security. But signaling is expensive. There's a difference between being admired and being secure. Many people buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. And the cost isn't just financial, it's mental. Debt creates pressure. Pressure creates stress. Stress limits options. The wealthy avoid unnecessary pressure. They don't feel the need to prove anything because real wealth is internal confidence, not external validation. The invisible asset strategy. Here's something important. Most wealth is invisible. You can't see index funds, dividend portfolios, private equity, business ownership, real estate equity. Wealth doesn't shout, it compounds quietly. While others are upgrading phones every year, the wealthy are upgrading ownership. Instead of asking, how can I look successful? They ask, how can I buy assets? An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. The wealthy prioritize assets first. Luxury comes last, if at all. Inflation, the silent wealth killer. Let's talk about inflation for a moment. Inflation simply means prices rise over time. Your dollar buys less in the future than it does today. If inflation averages 3 to 4% annually, your purchasing power gets cut in half over a few decades. That's why saving alone is not enough. If your money grows at 1% in a basic savings account, but inflation is 4%, you're losing 3% in real purchasing power. The wealthy fight inflation with growth assets. Stocks historically outpace inflation over long periods. Real estate often adjusts with inflation. Businesses can raise prices. Cash cannot. Pretending to be poor often means redirecting lifestyle upgrades into investments that grow faster than inflation. The fixed expense rule, the alpha insight. Here's an insider nuance most people overlook. The wealthy obsess over fixed expenses, not variable spending. Fixed expenses are dangerous because they are permanent commitments. High mortgage, luxury car lease, long-term debt. These reduce optionality. Optionality means having choices. If your monthly expenses are $8,000, you need constant high income. If your monthly expenses are $3,000, you have breathing room. Breathing room allows risk-taking. Risk-taking builds wealth. That's the cycle. The rich often live below what banks approve them for. Just because you qualify for a $1 million home doesn't mean you should buy one. Banks calculate what you can afford. Wealthy people calculate what keeps them flexible. The power of boring investing. You don't need exotic strategies to build wealth. You need consistency. Low-cost index funds, regular contributions, long time horizon. That's it. It's not flashy, it won't go viral, but it works. Most millionaires didn't build wealth through crypto speculation or meme stocks. They built it through decades of disciplined investing. Boring is powerful. Why this matters more in 2026? Social media amplifies illusions. You see luxury travel, supercars, high-rise apartments, entrepreneur lifestyles, but you don't see debt, lease agreements, investor funding, financial stress. Comparison destroys discipline. The wealthy avoid comparison traps. They focus on net worth, not lifestyle display. Net worth is assets minus liabilities. That's the real scorecard. Not followers, not watches, not square footage. Practical steps to apply today. Increase your savings rate before increasing your lifestyle. Aim for 20 to 40% if possible. Automate investing immediately after payday. Pay yourself first. Keep housing under control. Housing is usually your largest expense. Avoid long-term car loans. Cars depreciate. Assets appreciate. Review fixed expenses annually. Negotiate insurance. Cancel unused subscriptions. Track net worth quarterly. Focus on growth trends, not daily market moves. Small habits compound just like money does. The long game perspective. The rich don't pretend to be poor forever. They do it during the building phase. Once assets generate enough income to cover expenses, lifestyle becomes optional. At that point, upgrades don't threaten stability. That's financial freedom. Freedom is when your assets pay your bills. Freedom is when you don't depend on a paycheck. Freedom is when you choose work, not need it. And that freedom starts with discipline. The final shift. Looking rich is temporary. Being rich is permanent. One gets you attention, the other gets you peace. If you sacrifice 5 to 10 years of lifestyle inflation and invest aggressively instead, you can build a financial foundation most people never achieve. The rich aren't pretending to be poor, they're protecting their future. They understand something simple. The loudest money is often the weakest money. The quietest money is usually the strongest. If this changed your perspective on wealth, hit like. Subscribe for practical financial education without hype, and comment below, would you rather impress strangers today or secure your freedom tomorrow? Because the decision you make now shapes the life you live later, and the smartest wealth strategy might just be the quietest one of all.